You think you have time. A quote that the Buddha said, but I never truly understood. A few weeks ago, my grandma passed away. She was somebody I truly loved and also someone who I was named after. This is the first time in my life I've ever lost someone who was truly close to me. And I'm only 19, so the grief really did hit hard, but also hit in a way that I wasn't prepared for. The night that she passed, I had an epiphany in my life and I wanted to share that with you guys. Life is short. And recently I've been spiraling over all these little things that really mean nothing in our lives. Like, we tend to get caught up in the little things, whether it be school grades, to whether people like us, to the number of likes on an Instagram story. And the hard realisation I had that day is that we're all gonna die. And yes, I know that sounds so basic, but until it hits, you don't truly get it. And you need to live in the moment right now. Of course, it's amazing wanting to level up and be your best self. I'm a complete advocate for that. But just don't get caught up in these little insignificant moments, because in the great scheme of things, it really doesn't matter. Since her death, I have compiled these top 3 big life lessons that have really hit me, but also some things I wish I realised sooner, so you can start today. Number 1, being that you don't need other people's validation. You are validation enough. You don't need to prove yourself to other people. You don't need to tweak and mould to suit other people's standards. I literally starved myself in my teenage years because I thought if I was thinner, I'd be more liked, I'd be better at my sport, I'd be more accepted. And this couldn't be further from the truth, yet it took me 5 years to realise that. You are validation enough. Be independent. Look after yourself. Learn those life skills. You don't need to rely on anybody else, because at the end of the day, you have to live with you for the rest of your life. Other people's opinions shouldn't matter. In fact, those big decisions you make in life, you shouldn't be asking other people their opinion. You need to look within yourself, because you need to trust your own intuition. You know yourself more than anybody else. So stop seeking validation from all these external people and what you think about their opinions, because it really doesn't matter. As long as you like what you're doing in your life and you're happy, that's all that matters. This is your life. Number 2, life is too short to overthink the small things. We so overthink the tiny little details. Whether we've got a spot on our face, how much our coffee is, what we think of that photo that we post on Instagram, whether we get 96 or 98% on a test. In the grand scheme of your life, these things mean nothing. Once you realise that 98% of the life you are living is the journey and not the destination, you will be 1,000 times happier. I used to chase the end goal, the end destination, rather than enjoying the journey. But then you shortly realise that end destination, the day you open that results paper, the day that maybe you get a viral video, that is 2% of the journey. You need to enjoy the process of getting there. For example, with video creation, it's not how many views or likes you get on a video. I don't know if you noticed, I get about 20 views per video. I don't make videos for the views. I make them because I enjoy making, editing, scripting videos and sharing life stories and realisations that I have I wish I had earlier. That is what I enjoy, and that is the important bit, because that is 98% of your journey. You will be miserable if all you care about is the end result. You need to enjoy the process of becoming. Yes, there are going to be parts in that you don't enjoy that much. That is life. But for the majority of it, you need to enjoy the process of becoming rather than the end destination, because you are a constant piece of art and you're constantly going to be changing and evolving. So if it is an end destination, you're never going to get there and you're going to be very, very disappointed even if you do. I'm aware that is easier said than done. From someone who's experiencing it, I know. And finally, number 3, your purpose in life is to serve and connect with other people. As human beings, we need connection. I know it looks like people have sacrificed everything to get to the top, but if you get to the top of the mountain and you have no one to celebrate that win with, what was the point? Your purpose is your passion and sharing that with other people to make other people's lives better. You might think right now those material things are what's going to make you happy. That car, that handbag, that house. But from experience, that is not true. For me especially, it was getting that body, reaching that certain weight. When I reach that weight, then I'll be happy. When I can fit into this piece of clothing, then I'll be happy. When I can feel like this on the beach, then I'll be happy. I tied everything to my body and the way I looked, the number on the scale. But no matter how low the weight I got, it never satisfied me. And that is how happiness goes, because happiness isn't a thing. Happiness is created through your daily life. Being happy is being content with the life you are living and the connections you make with people and the purpose you're fulfilling. Because what is the end goal? Even if your goal is to make a lot of money, yes, you have all that money. What are you going to do with that money now? You're just going to die with it? Because at the end of the day, if you're wanting to make money to serve a purpose, to help people, to fund projects, to make a difference in the world, that passion is going to push you through those hard days. You need to reevaluate why you're doing what you're doing. Why is it that you're doing that degree? Why is it you're starting that business? Why is it you put yourself on the internet? Because that passion will push you through those really hard days. And again, you can fill your own cup and you can be independent and you can go out on your own and go on solo dates and love yourself, and that's fantastic. So you can serve other people because you can't pour from an empty cup. The whole point of filling yourself with love is so you can fill others with love as well and spread that joy and be that positive vibration. If you're so busy acting in a space of selfishness rather than a space of love, you're not going to get anywhere, unfortunately. Because as humans, you need connection. So even if you get to the top of the mountain, like I said, if you've got no one to share it with, you're just going to feel that arrival fallacy and you're going to feel even more miserable than when you started. What is your passions and how can you make that into a purpose? Because happiness is feeling fulfilled in your life, not just chasing materialistic items, which by the way can be gone like that anywhere. I know this was a hard one. This was a hard one to set up and film as well. Everything is still quite fresh, but it's actually in moments like these, the hard moments, that our self-development journeys can truly flourish. We make the best pieces of art when we come from places of fear, pain, of anger. And I feel all those things right now. And if you were to take anything away from this video, I hope it's just that you shouldn't give an F what anybody else thinks. This is your life. It's your passion. This is your purpose. You are so incredibly unique and we need everyone to be authentically themselves. You can't be and you shouldn't be anybody else. You have your own unique life experiences, challenges, lessons that you can share with other people. You can serve other people in so many different ways, and by serving will fulfill you, and that will give your life meaning day to day. Because you think you have time, but the days will fly by and you need to enjoy the journey rather than thinking I'll only be happy when, or I'll only be happy if, because that day will never come, or even if it does, it's not going to hit like you think it does. Because like I said, life, 98% of it is the journey, not the destination. That also allows you to detach from that end destination, because when you're attached to it, it has control and power over your emotions and feelings and how you live on your day to day. When you love the process, the end result is detached. Remember, if you're going through an adversity in your life right now, if you're going through loss or grief, these things need to happen. As much as it might seem confusing and it might feel unfair, the universe is always working in your favour and it's always teaching you something. But otherwise, I hope this opened something for you. I hope it made you think. I hope it made you reevaluate where you are in your life, because you can start today and you can redirect it in any way you want. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, I've got bite-sized empowerment on my other social media if you want to check that out. Otherwise, I wish you all a blessed week and I'll see you all soon.